Well, welcome back to this podcast series on rewirement for success. My name is George, and I am a certified transformational trainer. And I want to tell you why I'm doing this podcast. 3 years ago, when I was confronted with retirement, I was terrified. I thought my life was over. I needed to understand what this meant for me. But I didn't know where to begin. And then I discovered how to rewire my thinking. And it has transformed my life since. I've been talking to people, about my experience of E plus R equals O. And they said, George, you need to share this material right now. The sooner others know the power of E plus R equals O, they can learn to make informed decisions and take control of their life. Especially important with COVID-19. I totally recommend you do not wait till you're 63 like I did to learn about E plus R equals O. If you have questions, you can email me at yourrewirementforsuccess@gmail.com. You can also check out our Facebook page, Your Rewirement for Success. This is the fourth podcast in this series. Remember, you can send me an email at yourrewirementforsuccess@gmail.com. I will send you a copy of the e-workbook for this series, with practical examples of using E plus R so in your life, and exercises that you can work through. Exercises we'll talk about in this series, but it's always nice to have something in front of you, a book form. So I encourage you to request that. So if you found yourself more aware of your responses to events and then thus getting, more of the outcomes that you want, you're getting more comfortable creating the outcomes you want. If you remember back, we started talking about how it looked and felt like to take just 5% more responsibility in areas of your life. You are now aware that better responses equal better outcomes. So how do we start to consistently create even better responses? Well, practice, practice, practice. Practice is how you're going to get better, and each time you use it, you will learn to better and better to invoke E plus R equals O. The key to enhancing our ability to respond better is our health and wellness. Think about it. Are you more or less likely to respond better when you're tired? What about the morning after a night of partying and drinking? Are you responding in your best behavior the next day? Does drinking an energy drink give you the boost you need, or an extra large soft drink? Does that impact your ability to respond? I'm not saying you have to give up everything and become devoted, totally to your health like a monk. But I encourage you to work towards taking more responsibility for your health and wellness so that you can take better control of your outcomes in other areas of your life as well. So take a few moments to think about your health, your wellness, and your fitness goals. What outcomes are you currently experiencing in this area of your life? I want to encourage you to commit to 3 or more ways that you can take 5% more responsibility for your health going forward. What will the outcome be 1 year from now if you started today, or a decade from now if you continue getting new outcomes? So if you haven't got the workbook, please write down, I will commit to taking 5% more responsibility for my health, wellness, and fitness by blank. I will commit to taking 5% more responsibility for my health, wellness, and fitness by blank. So let's remember the examples that I talked about in the beginning. If I took 5% more responsibility for my health and well-being, I would exercise 30 minutes a day. I would drink one less soda a week. I would get 30 extra minutes of sleep per night. And I would meditate at least once a week. Now, you can find other examples like this in the e-workbook, but please take a moment to complete your health and welfare statement. And one thing that's extremely important is to make sure you share this with your family, with your friend, with others, so they can support you in this journey. And yes, they might say something to you like, well, how are you doing with that drinking one less pop a week or whatever? That way, they're actually supporting you. So I encourage that you share it. To prepare for the next podcast, I encourage you to look forward in the book at the exercise on resolving a difficult or troubling situation in your life. I'm going to post the questions for you to look at just in case you haven't taken the time to get the workbook. You could copy the questions from this podcast, and that way you can prepare.